Hey everybody, this is the inaugural video. I am here in downtown St. Paul. You can see that right behind me. And I am headed to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. I have long wanted to start a YouTube channel that was just more like casually about the things that I do in life, and motorcycling has become more and more of a thing that I have been doing lately. So this is the inaugural video. Welcome. We are going to be headed out to start the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride over at, that's a nice sounding car. We'll see if the audio picks all that up. I bet it doesn't. But anyway, this is basically a big experiment. Welcome to the journey. We're going to just right now casually ride over from here to there. And we're going to see hopefully a lot of cool bikes. It's a Triumph sponsored event. It's a charity fundraiser for men's health, including like prostate cancer and stuff. So you'll see here in a minute. You can probably tell I'm not wearing my riding jacket, which is unusual. This is the first time I've ever not done that, and I wouldn't say I exactly recommend it. But this is a whole experiment for me, and I actually need to figure out where I need to go. Hopefully these people can actually get out of the intersection. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to share the ride with you guys, and again, hopefully we'll see some awesome motorcycles, we'll meet some cool people, maybe get to talk to a few folks as well, although I don't have a microphone that's outside of my helmet. And we're experimenting with a bunch of new technology, so I got a Cardo. That's what I'm using to record this. And then I also have it's a SJ cam. It's like a kind of a knockoff GoPro, but I think it'll work pretty well, and that's what I'm using to record this. And for now, my goals are just to, get out, share some of what I'm doing. Look at this. This is a beautiful view of the city. I'm actually, I don't think I've ever driven this road. But, hey, we say hey to our little motorcyclist friend here. That's the way I should have gone, actually. Let's take a Yui here. Yep. Nope. I don't think this is the way that I should have gone, but we will see. Yeah, this is 35 South. That's not the way I should have gone, but we'll see. Anyway, part of my goals here are to actually force myself to just speak more clearly and speak more linearly. I run a company in the day-to-day. Small company. I'll probably tell you about that sometime later in the series. But one of the things that's really important when you lead a company is to man, we'll catch all sort of funny stuff on videos. Like I just poured a drink out of his window on the highway. One of the things that's important is to be able to just deliver words in an inspiring and linear fashion. And one of the things that I've found myself doing, particularly in the last couple of years, and I'm not exactly sure why, is I've been interrupting myself, like you just saw there with the, this guy opens his door. Like, it's a funny thing to comment on, but it's not exactly how I want to communicate on the day-to-day, so I'd rather have just been able to finish my thought and then maybe comment on the guy spilling his drink out the door. And I think this is going to force me to do that. But also, a lot of my time that a secondary goal of the channel is that a lot of my time that I spend doing valuable work for myself, my life, my company, is actually just thinking. Like, I ponder things. In the shower or on a motorcycle ride or on a walk, I just sit there and I think about everything that's going on. And I wanted to have a recording of all that stuff. And I've been riding my bike more recently, so I thought that all of that came together to mean maybe I could get something out of recording myself on YouTube, pondering some of these big thoughts, and improving my communication while also sharing it with you guys. And, I expect, at least for right now, I expect this YouTube channel to maybe be a place where my family can get to hear a little bit about my life. I can share it with them. They're far away from me. I'm up here in Minnesota. So hopefully I can share it with them, and then maybe a few friends around here, Maybe I make a couple riding friends at the event today, and then we can, share life with each other as we go along. This is definitely going to take me longer to get there than I expected. It's already 12:17. I think that clock is right. Man, suddenly I feel like there's so much to say. Like, I want to tell you guys about just some of the other communication stuff that this is going to force me to do. Like, I literally have to sit here and think about how I'm delivering this message. Like, I have to make my voice go up and down. I hope that doesn't mean that I end up needing to, stop for a water more or, run out of my voice or something. But I have to make I have to deliver this in an impactful way, which some of the voice coaching classes that I've been taking recently have been super fascinating for how your voice delivers. For example, many people in their sentences on an uptone, and I found myself doing that, and it really just makes you feel sound not confident. I'll give that person a nod, tell them to go, and we're going to wait it out here. So this is going to force me to think about that a lot as I just record these. And it's also going to make me think about the technology that I use here. My company deals a little bit with content production, so I'm going to have to think about, how do I take this video that I got from the camera and the recording that I'm using the Cardo for and stitch them together into something that's good, but also that doesn't take a bunch of my time, So I'll need to develop a process for that. That was super strange. There's this line going down the middle of the road that is basically, it doesn't look deep, but it is. It doesn't look deep to me, at least. But another thing that I expect to get out of this, honestly, I have been riding for 10 years. And as I've watched other YouTubers, MotoJitsu and such, I've noticed that it seems like their audience interacts with them a lot and kind of comments on how they ride. And I don't know, I could probably get better at riding. That would be pretty cool if I saw some, comments on how I ride. I also just love to talk about motorcycles. I used to work for Polaris Industries. I was a design engineer, but I did a short stint as a quality and part sourcing engineer. I forget exactly what my title was, but I didn't ever get to design motorcycles. I got to design steering and suspension systems for snowmobiles and race snowmobiles. And but if you don't know, Polaris Industries owns Indian Motorcycle and formerly Victory Motorcycle. And for a little while, I got to work under the guy who was the lead project engineer on the Victory Vision, which was their big touring bike. People love it or hate it. I personally kind of hate it, but my wife, it would be like her favorite bike for me to get. So I don't know. I just think it looked silly. But they also own Indian Motorcycle, and I got to work as a kind of a project manager for some supply quality initiatives that we had in the Spirit Lake factory, which is really cool. And I, as a part of working for Polaris, Polaris is a great company, by the way, in my opinion. They make you work hard, but like everybody who loves power sports kind of wants to work hard. Or no, that's not true. That's a silly thing to say. But if you love power sports and you get to work on things that you love, then like working hard doesn't feel so much like work. Let's see if we can. Oh, I didn't see the dog. I was going to wave to the doggo. So let's see, where was I? Yeah, I love to talk about motorcycles. I'm a vehicle dynamicist by degree, mechanical engineering with a specialty in vehicle dynamics, so I like how things move together. And bikes have a super, super interesting set of vehicle dynamics, which we can talk about if I ever talk about like some of the safety stuff. But yeah, maybe if you guys have, if you end up watching this, if this makes it in the video, then you could ask me questions about vehicle dynamics, and I'd love to answer some of those, like why does the front wheel of a bike steer right when you're turning left at, higher speeds and everything. Like, we could dig into some of that, because I like explaining stuff like that. And let's see, here we go. Let's talk about the bike. Let's talk about the bike that I'm riding right now. Get a good shot of it here. This is a Honda CB1100 from 2013. I believe they only made these in the States from 2013 to 2014, and then they discontinued them, but they kept making them in Europe. And it's a throwback sport bike. It's kind of modeled after the sport bikes of the 80s, the old CB 750, CB 500 or 550, and the CB 900C is, I believe, what it's closest to. Some people would argue that, but I got this bike back in 2015 because my first bike was a Honda CB 900C, 1982, baby. 4 cylinders, 4 carburetors, which were a pain to tune. And it was just such a beautiful bike, and it was my first bike, so I loved it so very, very much. And I like riding the fuel-injected version more, though. This guy has a lot more power than the 900C did, being an 1100 and also being fuel-injected. But it still has that classic look. I think here in a minute when we get to the event, we will take a step off the bike and get a good shot of it here. I tried to kind of give it a wash, but apparently I'm not great at washing my motorcycle. I don't know. It doesn't shine like brand new. But I will actually be selling this bike soon. Just yesterday, I put money down on a used Indian FTR, which, like I said, I used to work for Polaris. They own Indian, and I used to ride an Indian Scout when I worked for the company, but had to give that back. They kind of like give you a loaner vehicle. Had to give that back, and so that's when I bought this guy. But I've always wanted to get the Indian FTR platform, that stands for Flat Track Racer, because right when I joined the company, or right after I joined the company, in 2017, they released the FTR, and I got to be there while the project was all hush-hush and nobody knew about it. But it was such a clean-looking bike, and it really harkens back to the not harkens back. It literally was built as a flat track racer, which is like one of the classic American pastimes for motorcycles, classic American races for motorcycles that Harley had dominated for so many years. But the flat track racer, I'll have to leave some to be spoken about when I actually get the bike. I'll have to do a whole video on it. But the flat track racer came in and dominated. I mean, I think between the years 2017, when it was launched, and 2024, which was the last year that it was at least officially supported by Indian, because it was discontinued. Sad story, we'll get to that. But in those years, Harley only won a single race. And basically between, oh, hey, look, maybe we got some of our friendly gentlemen riding here with us. Anyway, we'll tell the story when we get the bike. Until then, we'll pick up a ride with these guys. We'll be seeing a lot of Triumphs out here, like I said. Oh, shoot. I guess we need to make a turn here coming up. So let's talk a little bit about the ride. This is my first time riding in a big group ride. I don't know if I'll love it. We will see. I know a lot of people kind of hate the idea of it, but I figured don't knock it till you try it. And thought it'd be some good content for a video. Plus, I have wanted to film myself on the bike for a little while now. Partially just because safety and like insurance and stuff. What's up, boss? That's silly. I shouldn't say hey to other motorcyclists because they can't hear me, obviously. Because we're all in helmets. But yeah, we're coming here to the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. It's a charity fundraiser for cancer called the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, sponsored by Triumph. And, or for men's health, I guess, not purely for cancer. And it starts here at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds, and then it'll group up, and we end up at a brewery called Lake. We go through downtown. Then we go through this beautiful southern kind of arc around the Mississippi River, and it'll be a nice ride, some beautiful bikes, awesome people, I'm sure. But at the end of it, we end up at Lake Monster Brewery, which is personally one of my least favorite breweries, so I don't think I'll be having a beer or anything. And we'll just see what it's all about. We'll see if we like today. But look at that. Oh, I'm so excited to meet some of these guys and talk about bikes all day. Let's go. Let's go. Also, if you have any tips for riding in groups for me as you watch the video, I'll probably get like one whole viewer on this, maybe. I don't know. But please do let me know. All right. Let's see what we got here. Looks like a good variety of bikes. I expected to see more Triumphs. Oh, old Norton. Nice. Have to make sure my ties are all adjusted here. First off, let's get a good look back here. That's her. And we'll see. I'll take the camera off maybe and cruise around here. Okay, so at this point, we just took the camera off and cruised around and looked at some of the bikes. There were a lot of Triumphs there, and I'm recording the audio here because this is after the fact because I didn't have good audio from my helmet cam to share. Still working out some of the tech things, but you know, there were a ton of bikes there. It was a lot of fun, and then unfortunately my camera actually had already run out of batteries kind of by this point. This is my first day with it, and I think I just had to learn a couple things about the camera to get it to just to work better. And now I've learned those, so I'll have to do some more experimentation, and hopefully I'm just going to be able to wrap these this whole process up into like really lightweight motor vlogging, and so that I can put a lot of these out and just kind of share some rides with you guys. Okay, I think I'll let the video play here a little bit as we cruise through the rest of the bikes, and then we'll call this one closed. The Distinguished Gentleman's Ride was a success, but not all of the video capture was. We'll figure it out for next time.